Hello guys, welcome back. Today, as you see, we have Azamina Fiendsmith Chimera. Honestly, it's a deck that I wouldn't consider very good until recently, because Nightfall told me that this deck has more potential than I thought. And after testing, I saw that it's actually very, very good. This is the list that I play. Two things you notice is that I don't play Fugaros because I refuse to give 400 euros. And you see Super Poly in the main. So basically, Super Poly is very good against Azamina, Fiendsmith, and White Forest decks. So it's very good board breaker. But after testing, honestly, I would replace it with Droplet in the main and I would put it in the side deck. And on the replays, I had Garura in the side deck as well to cover more matchups with Super Poly. Other than that, the deck is pretty standard, and the main goal is to put up the Azamina negate before you do your full combo. And other than that, it's basically Chimera Fiendsmith. So let's go to the replays. First match is versus runick White Forest, and it's actually a very good matchup for us. As you see, opening Diabel Star is full Azamina because it gives you access to the sinful spoils. And actually, it's a very good engine because it gives you draws as well through Wanted. And the Azamina continue spell can also burn for time. So if you put up this early and your opponent hand traps you, you burn for 1500. So it's actually really important to remember in events like YCS and stuff because you don't want to lose to time. As you see here, the combo. So I basically do Fiendsmith combo before I set up Sword Knight at the end of the combo as always. I summon Caesar and now I have Caesar SP plus Azamina. And because I have Sinful Spoils in the graveyard, I can just summon Jabels from the hand because she has an effect that summons herself from the hand if there is a Sinful Spoils in either graveyard. And look at this field, like I get the information of what he's playing, I get to rip one of his cards, and I have basically an anti-spell against three quick play spells. And his only out is Dark Ruler, and I know that if he has it, he's gonna set it, so I pop it instantly after I have seen what he's playing. So, game 2, he opens Skill Drain, which is limited by the way, every time they open it. But whatever, he loops some chicken games and draws a lot of cards. He's lucky and he draws LZ as well. So it's actually better for the video because I can showcase the true power of the board breakers in this deck. Super Poly could be handy here, and I kept it because I knew he was playing White Forest. And the reason is that the Azamina fusion that negates needs an illusion and a white and light spellcaster, and that's exactly what he has on field right now. So I just hard summon it. It's very funny, and to be honest, I always want to do it against this deck. The reason I'm not negating the trap is that I know at least one of his sets is either a skill drain or a floodgate, so I want to get rid of it. I activate talent to draw. Maybe I would draw into dust or something. But Thrust generally is good because I can search evenly. And his plays are so easy to read. Like, I knew he had the skill drain, I knew he had Dark Ruler. It's so obvious, and you can capitalize on these reads because that's why I summon Swordnet that can activate itself. And because he doesn't have a battle phase, I don't need to rush to commit to any plays. If he was playing the toy build, I could maybe activate some fusion spells and try to go for some stuff. But because he doesn't have a battle phase, all I need to do is activate basically Sword Knight to add follow-up for next turn. And his cards don't bother me at all because I have Guardian Chimera, I have SP, I have the Fiendsmith, so I don't care about what he does. And because I banished one of his fountains, the next play I would make is SP to banish the other. And I don't know why he admitted defeat, but he wouldn't win this game either way. So it's very understandable. Second match is against Snake Eye. And in my hand you see Secret Azamina plus Wanted. And the combo I wasn't making until a few matches after is activate Sacred Azamina, then chain the Wanted. So you have a free send. You don't need to set up the whole continuous spell deception and go for that. So it's something to keep in mind because I didn't. And it's important to see my mistakes so you don't make them. And as you see here, basically he has full Fiendsmith and full Azamina lines on top of the Snake Eye board. Our hunt isn't the greatest because we have one brick and we have Performed plus Gazelle without any fusion spells, and against two Omni negates is very hard. But honestly, if he didn't have that imperm, I would definitely win. And you will see. Um, Drawing the patchwork is also very bad because I could search it with Agent Chain, and he doesn't have an Omni negate that negates the activation like Parudra's of Bell, for example. So here, yes, if he didn't have that permanence, I would be able to at least add one fusion spell and then proceed from there. He activates Purula in the draw phase, and I'm so happy that he did that because I can play through it very easily with this hand. And this deck specifically plays around Purula very well. And Fugaros, honestly, isn't the biggest problem because if you set up Azamina plus Chimera hand loop with Sword Knight, you have a decent field. And many decks just pass on Fugaros. So I think for this meta, you need to consider this deck. And basically, what Azamina does is that it gives you a stronger field through Fugaros and through hand traps. Going second here, he bricks. So that's something very usual for Snake Eye, to be honest. Here, maybe what I should have done is discard Sinister Necrom to play around as Blossom. Because if he had Dash, I could normal summon the Agent Chain and then link it off to add Patchwork. But I got greedy and I got rewarded for it because Talents puts up the last negate he has in hand, which is Veiler, and I can put a lot of bodies on field to just attack for game because without the field spell, his monsters are very weak. And basically, I can just do Fiendsmith and Azamina lines. I don't need to do any crazy plays here. I just have game on board. So what else should I do? I just attack for game and the battle damage is enough. Going into a next replay is against Blue Eyes, and honestly, I wanted to test like YCS Bologna format, but whatever. I can at least show what maybe the deck does. You might notice that I was playing Dark Fusion because it was my first game with Azamina Chimera and I was testing a lot of stuff. And basically, in the place of the second Diabellithar, I put Dark Fusion, but I weighted the choices, and honestly, Diabellithar actually basically does the same thing as Dark Fusion, but Dark Fusion you need to have good monsters, and if you already have those monsters, if you open Diabellithar instead of Dark Fusion, you can basically set up Azamina combo and then summon your good monsters to go for combo. So that's why I replaced Dark Fusion with the second Diabellithar because I needed more consistency on the Azamina lines. As you see here, a pretty good board. I don't have space for a lot of things, but I have a double Chimera Fusion setup. I have Undispel for the opponent, and I discard one of his cards. He doesn't want to see what he doesn't want me to see what he's playing, so basically I just blind here. But I thought that he's playing a combo deck because you wouldn't normally uh, scoop to this if you have Labyrinth, for example, because you can just set 4, I can pop 3 of course, but you can do still stuff. And he's playing the new Blue Eyes cards. Thankfully, I know what all of these do because I have played the deck. And honestly, he doesn't put up a bad endboard. I don't know if you really need to play the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate or the OG Ultimate. I think, actually, I don't know what you do to summon Magia, but basically here he has Magia setup plus Crimson Dragon on level 12. Thankfully, Calamity is banned. So he puts up a negate, and he has Crimson Dragon setup again, but Dark Ruler deals with it. And he could have gone for Magia here, but he doesn't. And honestly, it wouldn't bother me at all because I have a second Dark Ruler, or I could just chain Chimera Fusion and then chain block with stuff and pop his trap, which is basically Eternal Soul. If it gets destroyed, you destroy all of your monsters. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I pop 5 of his cards with just one Guardian Chimera, and I have full Fiendsmith lines. So only one unknown in hand means I just need to play around Nibiru, which I can do very easily. And here Coatl synergizes with the Necroquip. Necroquip, very good card, draws into whatever you need at the moment you need it. So I draw Diabels and I put up a negate. Azamina negates the Nibiru. So now I'm free to do full combo. I go into Crosswhip and stuff. I don't need to do much, to be honest. The cool thing about this deck is because Azamina are illusions, as I mentioned in my first video with Azamina, you can reborn them with Master Tau and Baphomet, which is very important because what you can do a lot of times is summon the Azamina, negate the hand trap, and then reborn it with Baphomet or Master Tau, so you have an Omni-negate for next turn as well. So you basically negate 2 cards instead of 1, where most decks negate just 1, for example Snake Eye. And the synergy is actually insane. Here I am playing against a subscriber. He wanted to duel me with Sharks, so I guess it's cool to show a deck that recently got support. You might see some rock decks like this in your locals. Honestly, I don't know any of the new cards, what they do. I don't bother reading them. I just let him do full combo. Hopefully, I draw into a Dark Ruler, but not a Super Poly because I'm not playing Garura in the main deck, in the extra deck, I mean. Dweller is catastrophic here because this deck cannot play without the graveyard. The only way you break through boards is with graveyard, and I have only cards that activate in the graveyard, so it's Insta Scoop. Game 2, I have, as you see, Tikaboo. Tikaboo is another card I was testing, but I really don't like it because although you have 3 different types in your deck, it's not that useful, and especially against Snake Eye. Snake Eye can very easily play through it unless they open specifically Snake Eye Ash. And to be honest, like I played against a good Snake Eye player. I opened Tikaboo and he did absolutely nothing because he had set up with every card of his being different types thanks to the Castira and the Spellcasters and the Azamina. So yeah, Tikaboo is not very good. Unfortunately here with Necroquip I draw the second Baphomet. So the good setup I wanted to do, I cannot do it anymore. But thankfully I draw Agent Change, so I can go into Macracker and then reborn the Baphomet. But that unfortunately means I don't have the best setup because I drew both Baphomets. Some people play only one Baphomet, but it's really important for me to play two. I don't know your guys' opinion. He starts with 1 for 1. I instantly get with Caesar, no brainer. He summons the right hand shark and I pop it when he activates a card because I don't want to deal with an undestructible monster. And he has some cards. He is obviously trying to bait Caesar, but the moment he summons a second master, I go into Guardian Chimera, and then he has to play with activated monster effect to summon from the hand. So that's something to note because I did side Purulia, but I didn't draw, of course. I have only engine and the talent. And against this deck is very hard to deal with it, but we'll see what we can do. So basically he has full combo here, Remora Reborns 2, he has double Bahamut. He goes into the Virtue Dragon, which basically adds a Sorcerer Blackout, and he adds back the Xyz Remora. and he can do this cool play with the Utopic cards and add in a Peace Arc. Very cool lines overall, but I think his crucial mistake here was summoning Kraken instead of Dweller, because if he summoned Dweller with a totally awesome and a Social Black Cat, I could never win this match, never. I draw into the polymerization, and I'm so frustrated because I side one polymerization post side deck, because I don't want to see the brick. So now I have two dead cards in my hand. I activate Poly, he doesn't negate at all. So I go into Guardian Chimera to bait some stuff, I draw evenly. And I know exactly what he's going to do right now. So I wanted to bait Kraken effect, but this is actually better because I knew that he would equip his monster, so my Chimera dies, and I have 3 evenly. And because I drew into the Apprentice, I have full combo as well. And yeah, basically now he gets punished for not making Dweller. But Kraken is so annoying because it makes every monster on the field, not on your opponent's field, water, despite only being played in a water deck. So yeah, it's very annoying. That's why I had to go into SP to banish his lifeless Siphies. And here basically I can do full Fiendsmith Chimera combo. I draw a card, Super Poly, too late now. But I can still summon it. I can still summon Garura. So basically I have Chimera access plus a Super Poly in case he summons a lot of monsters. And yeah, I need to hold the Super Poly for the very last of his plays. I discard one of his cards. And I go into the Gazelle. Unfortunately, I don't have another Performance. And yeah, Cross Super Bones, I have played around Talent as well. And I knew one of his cards, which is a Poplar basically. So I left him on better have the best card in his hand being a good normal summon. But I still had the Chimera Fusion, so it doesn't do anything. Here I'm playing against Mermail, he drops Fugaros on me. And I have breaked again with the Sacred Azamina, I don't know how that's happening. He draws into Impulse, and because I didn't know what he was playing, I wasn't really playing around Impulse. It's a new card, and it was my second match after Rota. So I wasn't really playing around that, and I wanted to go into Performance. But after this game, I realized that I should only protect Chimera combos with Azamina, so like Performance, Gazelle, or Sword Knight. And basically, yeah, that was a mistake that cost me this game. And I don't know if he has full combo or not, but Dragoon is basically full combo, so I don't want to see 20 minutes movie just to outgame me. He drops Puruli on me. I don't have an issue with that. He has Dark Ruler plus 2 impermanence, which is, I think, honestly, a side decking error. Because why would you put impermanence plus Dark Rulers if you prevent me from doing combo, Dark Ruler is useless, and if you don't prevent me from doing combo, Dark Ruler is also useless because I have Diabel, so it doesn't give you anything. Thrust is actually very, very good because if you get Shifted or Fugars, for example, you can set an auto-win card which is either D-Barrier or DDG depending on the matchup. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I just activate Thrust, I set DDG, and against his deck is an FTK, so he can win even with 4 hand-traps. Here I dropped Purulia, but he doesn't have anything. Plus, even if he did, I had Dark Ruler plus Evil plus full combo. So yeah, here's the deck. I hope you like it. I will make more videos about it in the future since I saw you liked the first video I made about this deck. A lot of improvements to be made. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. And honestly, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe.